I don't see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the morning show. Glad to have you here. Always a pleasure every week. Have you have you been on patreon.com/Pantelis yet? If you haven't done so, you should. You're going to see a bunch of exclusive content over there. You can find a plan that best suits your needs. Support the fucking channel. Support the content that is being support the content that is being pumped out of here. Do also subscribe to this page, YouTube, and you can check out the guy that just ruined the shot for all of you. Just destroyed your morning. I'm Poseidon 69. And the Poseidon 69 and IamPoseidon.com on all platforms. You can check him out over there. Are you gonna stay there? You wanna come here?
I'm gonna come, but let's do the intros first.
Let's do the intros first. Ted Bird died. Pantelis is trying to resuscitate him, and Phil is trying to film him. So
it was me.
So we're pretty much the two of us this morning.
I trapped him.
Help me.
I trapped him in an elevator.
He's trapped in an elevator. How you been, man?
I just put a cone in front of him and he tripped over. Oh, poor Ted. I feel bad saying these things because I like.
Sorry, Ted. I hope you're listening, but you are older, so it does give us a little bit of a right to make fun of him. A little bit, no?
100%. 100. I still feel bad though because I like him.
Ripped over a cone. Ted is doing good. I'm just joking, obviously. He just couldn't be here today, and neither could Pantelis. Phil has disappeared from the face of the earth. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a very long time. We do exchange sometimes.
I found him in the village.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Which village?
You know which village. There's only one village in Montreal.
He likes it. Have you
the
been
village
to the village?
where nothing is
I've
straight.
seen at the village, I think, once.
Really?
Yeah. What were you doing there?
Yeah, we went on a double date with our boyfriends.
It was a lot of fun. Not too many things happening. Actually, no, there's quite a few things happening on the news we're going to discuss. We're going to take it easy a little bit today because fucking a solo with Poseidon, it's not, let's just say it's not the best situation to be in. Fucking, bringing off the book over here. Yeah. What are you up to, man? What's going on? What's good?
Not much.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just come there. I'm just setting everything up.
You can come. Are you still doing stand up? Or are you still attempting to do stand up? Are you still practicing? Are you still getting your acting in? Yeah, you ready? Yeah, you good to go?
Yes.
All right.
It feels so weird being here in front of you.
Okay.
It's actually romantic. I'm not gonna lie. I see why. Look, I get your wife.
Yeah.
I get her.
Yeah.
I understand. She's a smart woman. She knows what she's doing.
She is. We should have brought some candlelight.
Yeah, exactly. I did stand up for a bit. I decided I prefer acting. I wanted to go more into acting because I act like a lunatic, you know, or I am a lunatic. I guess we'll never know. But yeah, that's it.
So done.
I do my thing. Yeah. Not for me, as they say.
It's not easy, man.
It's not about it being difficult. It just like it was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I had a good time. Actually, I think I had some good jokes too. But I was like, do I see myself? I asked myself one question. I'm like, do I see myself like touring? I'm like, nah.
You don't have to tour necessarily. You get a couple.
No, you have
spots
to
over
tour.
here.
As a comedian, you have to. There's no other way around it. You can't cheat the system that way. You have to do long drives for those gigs, and
Okay.
it just my love for it wasn't stronger than having to do all those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
So what's happening with acting now? Now you take lessons and
acting, you tell me, bro, you're flying out there, bro, like this instantly.
But what are you doing?
Oh, I'm taking some classes. I'm getting some gigs. I'm doing auditions and stuff.
That's good.
I did an audition where I had to pretend to give birth.
Pretend.
Yeah. Where I'm giving birth and the child is me, but just a smaller version of me. And it's holding a certain type of food. I can't say because I don't think I could, you know? So holding a certain type of food. I had to pretend to give birth. And yeah, I still haven't heard back from them.
This was a real thing. Seriously.
This is a real thing, yeah. It's wacky. I had a good time. I had a good time doing it, but it was so insane. And
What are you auditioning for, man?
oh, sometimes I audition for normal stuff. Some stuff are wacky, but it's normal. It's the nature of the business. And by the way, if you're in the chat, let us know. Did you post a link on Twitter?
I didn't have time to do anything.
Yeah, post a link. I posted a link on Instagram, but it's on the story, so I don't know who's gonna see it and when they're gonna see it.
It's gonna go. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I know. And I will address the live chat more often today because I have taken control. So yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Did you follow at all what's happening with Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy?
Oh, the Diddler.
aka Diddy.
The Diddler. Dude, this guy's crazy.
I don't follow. What do you call it? Star.
Oh man. So he's been found guilty of actual sex trafficking.
Well, he hasn't been
Like-
found guilty.
No,
He hasn't been tried yet.
Well, he hasn't. Well, sorry. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
He's
There's allegations. There's
yeah,
allegations
but-
around the fact
but
that
they
he
had
may be involved
grounds-
in sex trafficking.
They synchronized. That was impressive, bro. I gotta say, the feds synchronized. I was gonna say heist, but they're feds. What? Break in? What's the word?
I don't think they break in.
No. But they had warrants and they basically stormed.
Yeah, they raided. They raided his house.
Raided. That's the word I'm looking for. They raided all three of his mansions. The one in New York.
I heard two in Miami
No. They did Miami, they did LA, and they did New York as well. And they synchronized the raid, bro. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you don't fuck with these guys.
Yeah, but the Diddler already
But
had.
is it true that he ran away?
Yeah, so he had an escape plan, the Diddler.
How does he know they're after him though?
Come on, bro. That much money, you can buy information like this. He allegedly escaped through a tunnel in his Miami property. Just left his kids there. Didn't care. Just dipped, and he apparently was trying to fly to Antigua or something.
Okay.
Finally, the plane, because there's no extradition laws in the place where he was going to fly. And but the flight got grounded, and apparently they were trying to stop the flight from leaving the airport in LAX or near LAX from like one of those hangars, and apparently the pilot said we can't stop and we won't stop, and they dipped, bro. They didn't even charter the flight; they just fucked off.
This is like straight out of a fucking movie.
Yeah, bro, this is crazy. I was seeing this. I'm like, the Diddler. There was always something off about him, though.
So wait, we're gonna get to the part because for me it's the same thing I feel for every rapper. Every time I see a rapper, and this is not to put everyone to discriminate or anything, but it's just there's something off. Every time I see rappers acting like gangsters, I was like, well, what are they trying to represent over here? And Puff Daddy has always been in that group. But before we get to that, so here's the thing: this guy runs away from justice. So yeah, he went
he's
to,
not
I can't remember where he went. Yeah, there's no extradition law, so they don't have to send him back.
Yeah.
Chances are he's probably going to stay there forever now.
choice.
But this is fucking crazy.
Nah.
Sex trafficking. And there's been links to him and with people that were associated also to Epstein. So I don't know, man. How deep does this fucking story go?
Man, I'm telling you, the music industry, bananas. Apparently, he was controlling like 1/3 of the music industry with all these sex traffickers and those moguls and Epstein and all that.
What was he doing? He was more producing now, investing. He had companies and stuff because he's not doing any music, is he anymore?
No, he's not making music, but he's producing. He's basically a producer. He's a music executive. Someone's ringing the doorbell. Hold on.
Ringing the door. Don't get into a fight, bro. I can't do this thing solo. So Puff Daddy fleeing. Let us know in the chat if you guys are following this or if you're into this pop culture from the US and if you follow these things closely. If you're a fan of Puff Daddy. This is one of the strangest developments that I kind of been following this week. Just packed this stuff, got into the jet, fucked off. What's going to happen from now on, who knows? But there are links from the articles that I've read that do associate him, or at least associate him to some people that were linked to Epstein. So we know exactly what happened with all that situation, even though it hasn't been clarified yet. I don't think we've settled with that situation, right? With Epstein, we haven't gotten to the bottom of it. We don't know who's involved. There's still a lot of secrecy around it.
Bro, guess who showed up?
Who showed up?
The Mossad, bro.
The Mossad?
Yeah.
Where? Here?
Here, yeah. I guess that's who rang the doorbell. It was, I gotta say something. I just noticed something. It was a Jewish man. Mm-hmm. He was a Hasid.
Okay.
One of those Hasids with the barabaps.
Yeah, barabaps, yeah.
And the guy was selling payment processing.
Nice.
And he wouldn't take no for an answer. He goes, you guys don't do, how do you charge your clients? I go, that's none of your business. I go, but we don't do payment processing. Yeah. Okay, but you know you could use it. Oh, I shut the door in his face, bro.
No, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't be so rude,
But I told you we don't do payment processing. Why you insinuating?
Dude, he's in sales. You're in sales too. You should understand the...
Yes, but I'm in sales, but the moment somebody says, no, I don't need that, or I don't want that, or no, thank you, I take it as a no. If somebody's thinking about it, then I go, no, Mia was a straight up no. We don't even do that.
Okay, so here are the key points.
It's like let's say, bro, you come in for a sports car and I go, yeah, but look at this SUV, bro, 8 passenger, bro. I don't need 8 seats.
Yeah, but
bro.
if it's a better commission, you're gonna try. You're gonna attempt.
No,
one, twice.
Bro.
If you get no's, okay, let's move on.
I'm gonna sell the sports car. I'm gonna look to sell maybe a nicer sports car.
Okay, let's get to the story over here. So here are the key points. Okay, so his properties were raided. We know that.
1 second, just a side note.
Yeah.
If Hasidic Jews are doing B2B sales for payment processing, bro, the times are really rough. Times are rough.
Oh, man, why?
I've never seen a nice perm, Poseidon. It's not a perm, it's my hair. What are they saying in the chat? You're following Diddy's and Fitty? You'll find him in the basement of the Washington pizza place. Good morning, Ted looks younger. Yeah, thank you. That's funny. Okay, back to the diddler.
So his properties were raided. His properties were raided. It says here 3 women and 1 man have been interviewed in New York by authorities in connection to a probe involving possible sex trafficking, sexual assault, solicitation, and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms related to P. Diddy. Here's something interesting. The raids come a month after music producer Rodney Jones. You know Rodney Jones? Lil Rod. He sued Puff Daddy, claiming that he was sexually harassed, drugged, and threatened.
Yeah. The weird looking dude. He looks like an Oompa Loompa bit.
I don't know. I really don't follow this kind of stuff. None of this matters to me in any way, shape, or form. But it is a huge. He's a big personality, right? Sean, what's his name? Puff Daddy.
The diddler. You have to address him as the diddler going forward. He is the diddler. You know the Riddler. Just
here's my question.
Diddle me this, Batman.
How do you?
If you have 8 children locked in the basement.
here's the question I have. If you've reached that kind of stature, right, in pop culture or whatever it is, you're you're a famous personality. You're an investor. Everyone knows who you are. Yeah. Why would you do this sort of thing? You don't know that at some point it's gonna come to an end. Like you're gonna go down at some point.
I'll be honest. I don't think he had a choice.
No, but with everything going on right now, with
I don't think he had a choice
to do this,
to do these kind of stuff.
why didn't he have a choice? What are you talking about?
It's dude. There's a humongous elite pedophile sex trafficking ring happening, and we have proof of it with Epstein's Island.
Right.
Him,
Yeah, but here's the difference. Epstein, nobody knew about him. He wasn't a public figure. Like nobody really knew. Okay, he wasn't a public.
How you gonna guess, bro? The diddler is doing this.
You know, that's what I'm
10
saying.
years ago, we say P Diddy is sex trafficking. How would you know?
No. What I'm trying to say is that when you've reached that kind of popularity,
He doesn't have a choice. It's not him that decided to do this. It's people that decided for him. It's elites that decided, like, if you want to achieve a certain level and you want to have the mansions, the cars, the this, the that, and you want to have all the fame and fortune, then you got to do this for us. How do you think this works, bro?
I don't know.
And at some point, in any business, it works like that, small scale to large scale. Now, imagine you get to these elite levels where their insanity is banging kids, and they need somebody, and especially the diddler. You know, he's the perfect scapegoat. He's just some other rapper. You know what I mean?
This is to me, it's always fascinating to see how many people now are going to dissociate with him. With that whole what was that movie guy, the producer guy that started the whole Me Too movement? What was his name?
Weinstein.
He
didn't start it, but anyways.
No, he didn't start it. That was the first wave, right?
He was the target of it.
Yeah, and then you have all these actors suddenly coming out denouncing him and dissociating with him, and then the same thing with Epstein. And
Well, you have to. You have no choice.
Of course, you have no choice.
You can't just be like, hey, you know what? I think it was a cool guy.
The question now remains: how much of what he was doing was known by all these people that were attending his parties? Prince Harry's name was leaked. Also, it was mentioned. I saw an article where he would use Prince Harry as the elite celebrities that were present in his parties to attract people and to attract this kind of crowd that would attend these parties.
Yeah,
fucking royalty. They're everywhere. These guys. Fucking Prince Harry.
Prince Harry, bro, touching kids.
So there you have it.
NDA to attend. Yeah, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
You know what?
So you can't talk.
Funny story. This guy I used to work with, at some point he started dating like this super hot model. Like we're talking about stratospheric levels of.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I know him?
No, you don't know.
Okay.
And
what's wrong? Why you keep moving? You keep adjusting. No. You're not comfortable. Am I making you uncomfortable?
The chair rolls backwards. So anyway,
that's because you have to lean back into it.
Yeah. So what happened is that they would attend all these secret elite parties happening. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't think that stuff like that would happen here in Montreal, but it does. It does.
Of course.
And it was Guy Laliberté. Guy Laliberté is the guy that owned the Cirque du Soleil, and his parties are well known. Like everyone knew about his parties. And he made you sign non-disclosure agreements before attending his parties. Of
course.
And they were huge. Like they were parties lasting days.
Really?
Yeah, you'd go to, I don't know exactly where, his house or villa or whatever it was. And you would just stay there. It was like days upon days. And there were themes. Every day there was like a different thing. You would wake up. There was like just people just partying nonstop.
Orgies galore.
I don't even know what the fuck's going on in there.
You can imagine it.
Of course you can imagine. Of course. I mean, when you're signing a non-disclosure agreement to go anywhere, something's up. Something's going to happen.
If you have to sign an NDA to get into a party, there's going to be some children in the mix.
I don't know if there's going to be children. It's just that,
So why need to sign an NDA?
Because you have celebrities over there. You have high-profile people.
I get it.
If
somebody's not gay public, I get it.
People are doing drugs over there.
Yeah.
Things have changed, though. This back in the 80s, 90s, no problem. Everybody was doing it. There was no risk of anything leaking. Now with cell phones, man, you take a little video.
Yeah. And even if someone spoke, it was crazy.
But if somebody spoke back then, you could just deny it, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know what he's talking about. He's crazy,
Yeah, but now you deny it and you're like, oh, really? Well, this video proves otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many tools available to you. Unless you go to the party.
We got you cornered, diddler. What do you say about the evidence?
Like when you go to a party or anywhere and they tell you, no phones allowed. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, there's some comment. I think is it Joe Rogan's club? I think you have to put your phone away. They give you like a little lock
Yeah, but that's for
bag
something
and
else.
stuff.
That's because of stand up and
Yeah, they don't want they don't want their. But not only that, I mean, they want you to be focusing. You go to shows now, and everybody's looking at their phone. I've seen it a couple times when I've gone to check out Pantelis at the Bordel. You look around, people are looking at their phones. It's distracting, dude.
Yeah, I know.
It's distracting. You're trying to do a show and you have a little light flashing.
Or in the movies.
The movies, I've done it a lot. Like if the movie's boring,
It drives me nuts.
wait until you have kids. You go watch kids movies. You're like, what the fuck? am I doing
shit.
here?
Sometimes
Let me
these
check
kids'
my
movies
emails.
are deep, eh?
I went to see Kung Fu Panda, the new one,
Was it good?
and it's fucking amazing.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what they do. The animated movies. They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal. And then again, it's Jack Black, so you can't go wrong. Jack Black. Have you seen the Super Mario movie?
Yeah.
Fucking,
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed
He's
it.
the best. He's the best.
It's a funny character, Jack Black.
He's the best. Jack Black is the best. Doesn't give a shit. He's always done whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, since we're in the States, let's stay in the U.S. You saw what happened in Baltimore with the bridge.
Yo.
How crazy is that?
That's insane. You know, some people are saying it was on purpose.
No,
it was
no,
an attack.
No. I don't think it
No,
was.
I don't think it was either, but some people are saying that online because they're saying the lights shut off 3 times
Yeah.
and came back on. And then how come it turned last second? And I'm seeing people argue, like some people who work in like marine stuff, you know, they're like, you do realize like even a river, there's currents.
Yeah.
Turn the boat, you know.
We don't. Obviously, we don't know exactly what happened. I think there's the investigators that went on the boat and they took the recording devices so they can figure out exactly what happened. But it's tragic. First of all, the fact that like it's a busy passage over there, from what I understand. So this is going to cause a huge issue. And if you look at the map, that bridge, I mean, there isn't another connection. Jack Black said, so there isn't another connection for miles. So I mean, it's going to disrupt obviously the traffic over there. But here's the fascinating thing to me.
One thing I do find suspicious though is how the entire bridge fell. Every section of it fell. No, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so look, because it hit one of the
pillars, yeah.
hit one of the pillars, right? Now you would think that the bridge on both sides of that pillar would collapse.
No.
But how did every pillar afterwards collapse? That's what I find a little bit weird.
Well, of course, because that's how.
I will say that is a little bit suspicious.
Look, I'm not an expert, but
I'm not an expert either, but it feels like a bridge, like if it collapses, it would be like sectional.
No.
It wouldn't be the entire bridge.
because it's a suspended. I don't know if it was a cable bridge or if it was a suspended bridge or whatever the hell it was. There's a lot of tension there. It's not like an overpass where it's just built straight like a highway kind of thing. This you need there's cables, there's tensions. It's all held together by some advanced engineering over here. So if
Not that advanced if the entire bridge collapsed.
if one section breaks off or whatever, and that whole tension fucks up on the bridge, it's done. It's finished. It's over.
Really?
Yeah. It's really complex. It's really advanced stuff to build bridges. And again, I'm not an expert. I don't know, but especially when you have
But the
cable bridges like
entire
that.
bridge? Wouldn't
It's
they
not
have?
the entire bridge that fell. It's that one section. I think it's like about a mile of the bridge
And how long is the bridge?
collapsed. I don't know. It's huge. It's a long bridge. Like if you look at
I think like
the map.
2.7 miles or something.
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Does it say it over here?
Which is about, what, 4 kilometers?
I have the article right in my face. I should be reading it.
So it wasn't the entire bridge that collapsed.
There was a
you're saying?
section of the bridge that collapsed.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because what it seemed like to me was the entire bridge collapsed. Like if the entire bridge collapsed, I would find it a little bit suspicious. But since it's only a section,
Yeah, 2.6 kilometers. 2.6 kilometers.
and how much
Much
segment
of it, not all of it. Look, I mean, you can see it's like that part in the middle. It's probably the suspended part in the middle where the boats can pass under. But
Imagine driving, bro. You make it over the bridge.
So
you
here's
look in
what-
your rear view, and it just the bridge collapsed.
fuck the rear view. Imagine it's happening in front of you and you don't know what the fuck to do. The rear view, you just slam on the gas and just pray,
you keep going.
But in front of you, what the fuck do you do? Where are you going? You're done.
You aim for the captain
You're done. You're finished.
as you're falling off.
I just wonder what's safer. Do you stay in your car until you hit the water, then figure out a way to come out? Or do you get out of the car and jump off the bridge? If you can, of course.
I think you roll down your window as it's collapsing. You fall in the water.
In your car.
And then you get out.
Problem is that you're collapsing with the bridge. All the material shit is probably going to fall on top of your car as well.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's hard to think in those moments.
Of course.
Like you have what, seconds? Not even.
Honestly, I would probably just rub one out for one last time.
We got 30 seconds. Perfect. That's all I need. That's all I need.
I'm done. Fuck, we got 20 seconds left, bro. What do I do now?
It was tragic to see. Thankfully, there wasn't that many cars on the bridge. I don't know if they were suspecting that the boat was off course, and because I'm reading that the cops intervened and there were no cars on the bridge. There was only a construction crew, some pothole construction crew, and at that time they were on some meal break or whatever. So there was 8 of them that fell.
8 people.
8 people that fell. 2 managed to survive. One of them is in the hospital. The other guy apparently he refused the care. He just went home traumatized, whatever.
I like this guy. Who is this?
No, but it was a huge fall. We're talking about 180 feet.
Yeah,
dude, jumping off 180 feet and surviving is quite something.
No, I believe it. But the guy's
because at that height, with the speed that you're falling, it's like hitting concrete.
Yeah, of course.
So even the fact that they managed to survive, was it 180 feet?
I saw there were 20 people missing.
No. They're still underwater units there looking for those 6 bodies. Obviously, they're presumed dead. Here's the amazing thing, because obviously we have a lot of bridges here in Quebec, right? I mean, we know them. We cross them every single day. And I've been hearing a lot of analysts commenting the situation, and they're wondering how can that bridge be built without the adequate reinforcements in the foundation to avoid from having this sort of accident happening. And if you notice over here in the bridges, like if you go to the Victoria Bridge or even the Champlain Bridge, it's not just one pillar straight going into the water.
Yeah, it's a whole.
It's reinforced under, and there's this whole triangular foundation, and it's on purpose. So if there's any boats coming close to it, it doesn't hit the pillar; it hits that kind of structure underwater, and it kind of bounces off, So it's kind of like imagine like a huge triangle underwater that's attached to the pillar, and it's done purposely to avoid this sort of thing from happening. And all the bridges have that over here. And you would wonder that, a passage that is so busy like that one, from what I'm reading, should have had this sort of.
The fact that it never happened in the past is mind-boggling, because.
You don't see enough videos of bridges collapsing.
Oh, another thing,
and that was fun. Like, it's tragic, but it's fucking impressive.
Can I also
to see
say
that structure just fall like a piece of paper?
Can I also say that I do find it suspicious that we have very clear footage of it. How? Because
Why wouldn't? How wouldn't you? It's a city. There's security cameras everywhere. It's a port area. Like, it's not difficult these days to find the security footage for sure. Yeah. No, there's no issue there. But that's fucking scary as shit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It crumbled, dude. You saw the video, right?
Yeah, I saw the video.
It was made out of fucking little toothpicks.
Yeah, just like a house of cards.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, apparently, this ship had problems before leaving the port.
The boat, yeah.
Yeah, and people at the port advised, you shouldn't leave with that ship until you get it inspected. Blah. And they
where was it from? I think I read somewhere Philippines. Is it possible?
Bro, the Filipino ladyboys are attacking the United States. This is what's happening right now. They lost territory to the no, sorry. Is it Bangkok is what? Thailand. No, sorry, the Filipino trans attacked Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand, and now they're trying to take over territory in Baltimore, bro. Is this what's happening?
I don't have details on the boat. Let me just double check fast. Yeah, I don't know.
Was it Evergreen?
Is that the one?
That's the one the Hilton zone. Is it Hilton? The Clintons.
It has a Singapore flag. And it was headed to Sri Lanka. Man, that's impressive. These are huge boats. I mean, look at this picture, man. Imagine just picture how big the bridge is, and look at the boat under it. Just incredible.
Yeah, that's a big bridge.
You don't have to grab my fucking phone with your disgusting fingers, fuck.
Sorry.
Fucking disgusting individual. So yeah.
My hands are clean. Bro.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. So what is it? Some people didn't play Bridge Construction Simulator.
All right.
No, they didn't. Theo Jerome, they didn't. It does look like they steered into it.
It does. I will say, I watched the video. It does look like it.
Well, of course, it's headed right into the fucking pole. But you see the boat. There's something happens to it. There's some problems. The lights go off. They go back on. They go back. They go back off.
Because some people are saying, and I do understand this, that because when it's steered, the lights were off. But when there's no electricity, you can't even steer the boat. You can't do nothing.
There has to be some sort of backup. Like what happens if this happens like in the middle of the ocean where you're stuck there forever? There has to be a way for you to at least steer the boat. At least, go.
Yeah, but it's not like a regular boat where you turn the thing and the flaps turn and blah, blah, blah. This is a humongous machine.
Well, how do you think it's controlled?
Yeah, but it's all electronic. It's all done mechanically. It's no longer like, I don't know how to explain this. It's so big, you need the power to do that. You can't just.
Yeah. Yeah, it has thrusts on the side. Like there's I'm sure it has a complex way to.
It's not like
maneuver
it's not like
the boat.
driving a boat,
like a motorboat with a little.
And you turn the steering wheel, and the thing turns because you turn the flap because it's right there. We're talking about this is the just the weight of the rotors to turn is humongous. So it has to be done either electronically or mechanically or whatever. But if you have no power, so that I do understand. But then again, there's currents. You never know. Bro.
My biggest fear is dropping in the water, like in a river or whatever, in a car. It's my biggest fear.
Really?
Drowning in a fucking car, like you can't get out. Just the fact that you're trapped somewhere and there's fucking water, that for me is my biggest fear.
Oh, shit. Incognito Mart. What? Controlled demolition. We can clearly see explosions where the bridge is broken and on the second pillar.
I don't know. I saw the video. I didn't see any explosions.
I don't know. You know what? You keep talking. I will look at it again.
Here, let me see if they have the video here.
Baltimore. No. It's
because I've seen the video. You see the boat just driving right into the thing and then the bridge just collapsing. I don't know. I didn't see any demolition. Plus the video that I've seen is in the middle of the night because it happened early in the morning. So it's very dark. I don't know. You would see the explosion. Did you get the video? I think I have it here. I just have to wait for the.
Yeah, I have the video. I don't see any explosion. I think he's talking out of his ass. This guy.
I don't remember seeing an explosion.
No, there's no explosion, bro. Oh, he's talking about there's fire at the second building. Well, if things are crumbling and there's wires,
no fire. You see smoke.
No,
that smoke is coming out of the.
He's talking about this. Look here. You see the second pillar. There's like a bit of fire here. But if electrical wires and stuff are crumbling, like no shit, there's gonna be like, you know what I mean?
Hold on, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's the bridge falling down.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like if there was an explosion, we would.
This is what sucks in this situation, right? Because people rush to the conspiracy theories, and again, I'm not saying it's wrong necessarily. We don't know. I'm sure.
God knows, as much as the next man, love a good conspiracy theory, but I don't think this was.
But in the context,
why in Baltimore? Like they would do it somewhere like in New York. You know what I mean? Manhattan. They would do it somewhere crazy.
Yeah. No, but that's a very important thing. Even the bridge. I mean, there's significant merchandise that crosses that bridge on a daily basis.
100%.
So it's like super important. So yeah, I don't know. I think if it were a terrorist act, I think given the context that we're in these days, I don't think the U.S. would cover it. I mean, they would say we were victim of terrorism and whatever. But
let's just say in the hierarchy of bridges, I think this one's pretty down low. You know, there's a San Francisco Golden Gate.
There's much bigger bridges that you can go, but maybe they're harder to take down. You understand? Like if you want to cause damage, you're going to go after something that can collapse easily or easier than the major bridges like in New York or San Francisco or elsewhere.
I guess.
You know? Let's talk a little bit about Russia. You saw what happened in Russia, obviously, right?
Thermite explosive.
I don't know what that is.
You can't just stop a 4.2 ton boat just like that. I agree, John. I feel like because we've gotten to a point in society where everything is a conspiracy theory, everything is a lie now. Everyone just jumps to like, it was an inside job, but accidents do happen. We have to keep that into account. Still, in today's world, even though we found out, like sometimes accidents will happen. Like when that lady hit me on the highway on the 40.
Back on that story, yeah.
Like she was not trying to assassinate me. You know,
maybe she was.
Although I will say she was a person of color. So
let's go to Russia real quick. Last week, terrible event, obviously, and that was a terrorist act. You have a bunch of ISIS terrorists. They walked into into some theater in a suburb of Moscow, I think.
130 people. I will say, rest in peace to those people, and
maybe more. There may be more, but they not only did they go in and kill people, I think that one of them beheaded someone, and then at the end they burned the fucking place down.
They beheaded somebody.
Yeah.
Animals, savages.
Yeah. And then they burned the whole fucking place down.
My heart goes out to the family members of those people.
The roof collapsed. So obviously, immediately, something like this happens in Russia. The suspicions rise, right? So the Russian authorities immediately, and especially President Putin, immediately blamed Ukraine for it. He said this is linked to Ukraine, and it would make sense for him to do that because they're involved in this war right now. So any opportunity he has to kind of point the finger at Ukraine and justify his war, he'll take it. Ukraine denied it, obviously, but ISIS claimed responsibility for it. So the minute that ISIS claims responsibility for it, how do you continue blaming Ukraine for it? That's what I don't understand. In addition to that, you had the U.S. intelligence that a couple of months ago had warned Russia that we're getting intelligence of a terrorist act that may happen in Russia.
They even evacuated the American embassy or something.
I mean, they advised them to warn the people to avoid large gatherings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the Russians they ignored it. So obviously now this is coming out, right? I mean, a month or two ago, whenever this was advised, nobody knew about it. I mean, this happens through different channels, but Russia claims the responsibility of Ukraine, which is ridiculous. So all these guys, and through their own testimony, they said that they were paid to commit this act. That they were given a meeting point where they were giving all the weapons and all that stuff.
Do we know who paid them now, or
it's an ISIS. It's a group affiliated to ISIS. They already claimed responsibility for it. They came out publicly and I can't remember.
Yeah,
which
but ISIS claims responsibility for everything.
No, not everything. I mean, the ones that they do, they claim it. Here's the other thing.
Everything violent.
These guys, they moved in through Turkey, and this is not to blame Turkey or to shed light on Turkey. It's just that Turkey in the last 10 years has become like this filter between Asia and Europe, where you have all these people fleeing whatever situation in their country, and Turkey is kind of like the common ground. We saw a couple of years ago where they tried to penetrate Greece and they had blocked them. It was a whole issue there in northeastern Greece. So Turkey is playing has an important role to play. So you have all these people filtering through Turkey, and at some point, someone needs to fucking wake up. At what point does Turkey need to take better or more responsibility and increase the security in their entry and exit points through Turkey? That's the big question mark. I'll just leave that out there. But back to the event. These guys were stopped. They were arrested. Did you see what the fuck they did to them?
Oh, dude, those videos. Apparently, they fed one guy his own ear.
Oh, they fed it. I know he was missing an ear, but they fed it to him.
They cut off his ear and fed it. They made him eat his own ear. One guy, they attached those plugs with like battery thing to his nuts.
They zapped him. Yeah, they fucking electrocuted him.
They attached it to a battery. And
I saw that.
Dude, that's crazy.
There's another guy. I think they
didn't do enough. If we're being honest,
one
because
guy
they killed 130 people, bro, and they did so much damage.
But think of the difference.
They deserve worse, in my opinion.
I don't want to say I disagree with you. At the same time, when you see the procedure in more Western countries compared to Russia, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Oh, God,
there's no
bless them.
justice here. We got you. You're gonna fucking pay even before you get to court, motherfucker.
Yeah, you lost your rights. You automatically lose your rights. They did it the right way. They killed 130 people.
One guy you saw.
Do you understand? That's 130 lives.
One of the guys.
That the everything gone.
Yeah.
Because why? For did you see the amount of money they did it for? What was it, like 5,000 euros or something?
I don't know what it was. I think
it was 5,000 euros a head.
I don't know what it was. I think because one of the guys said they promised us 500,000 shekels. So I don't know what the conversion is, and I don't know what kind of shekels are from what country and what value they have. I doubt that they were paid a lot of money, but yeah. So look, these guys. I mean, look at the conditions they're living in, what they're fleeing. Anything to do just stupidities.
Yeah, but to kill people, bro, for that much money, like you don't understand.
There's one guy. They rolled him in on a wheelchair. He was barely fucking conscious. That guy, I think they removed his eye.
Good. I want them to resuscitate him. I want them to give him a new eye that he can see, and then take that one again.
And then the other guy was just bruised. His whole fucking face was just black everywhere. Good. The beatings these guys.
They didn't do enough. Incredible. They didn't do enough. They should be tortured for the next 5 years.
There were 4 guys that they caught immediately, and I think they caught another 2 now.
There was more people involved. How many people were involved?
I don't know. I'm not sure because 4 initially they caught them, and I read that there's another 2 that they
haven't caught.
Yeah. So
scumbags. By the way, just a little side note. Julien Cool J says, "Yo, Meek Mill audio with Diddy." So apparently that's fake. So there was also an audio that came out of P Diddy having anal intercourse.
Man, this shit now, you can do anything right now, man. Honestly, these days, you can just so this. So it's Meek Mill. Who's Meek Mill?
He's another rapper. I can't listen to his music anymore. There was
I've never listened.
There's a song of his that I really like. I can no longer listen to it. It's called Dreams and Nightmares. Because now all I can think of is Diddler having anal sex with Meek Mill, so I can't listen to that song.
I don't know if we spoke about this before, but what are the royalties that Puff Daddy was paying Sting for the I'll Be Watching You? The big song that made Puff Daddy fucking popular, man, was whatever it was, his tribute to Biggie.
I don't know.
How does the song go? Every step you take. That one. Every move you make.
I'll be there to diddle your anus.
It's a police song. And apparently I heard that he was paying a fucking arm and a leg to have those royalties.
Really?
Anyways, it
doesn't matter. Let's go back to this Russia incident.
So Russia dealing with that situation over there. I just... seeing these images, what is it? How did they get so far away?
Wouldn't that mall area be surrounded?
Look, there's a lot of suspicion on the people that they caught, suggesting that it's not really them. They just found them to blame them or whatever.
They were maybe the what's it called? The decoy.
I don't know what it was. So they all pleaded not guilty. Now that really, honestly, in a Russian court, I don't even know if that even matters. Seriously, it really doesn't even matter. But they're pleading not guilty.
Even if they were not guilty, the Russians will be like, okay.
Well, we need someone to blame. So fuck off. You did it. All right. Yeah. From now on, you did it. You're taking the blame for it. We got to make someone pay for it. But there's a lot of video. There was video footage of a guy fleeing the scene. So I doubt that these guys are just nobodies that they just found, on the corner of the street and just picked them up.
Do we know if they're trained? If they were trained? Because if they were, here's the thing: if they had any kind of military training, I'd be like, maybe it's not these villagers. You know what I mean? Like, do we have footage that shows them being very precise?
What the fuck is happening here, man? Jesus. Yeah, no, I don't know. And I don't know what kind of training they go through, but
Julien says that this smells of CIA involvement.
no, I don't think so. But the CIA, I don't know if you heard this, Julien, but the American intelligence had warned the Russia that they had picked up.
Oh yeah? How'd they know?
Well, that's why you have intelligence, because you pick up shit. You monitor situations and
But who monitors? Aren't they enemies?
yeah, but dude, they have their agents everywhere, all over the world, and it's not only the U.S. You think Russia doesn't have agents everywhere in the world? Chinese don't have agents.
I know.
You know
what?
Canada definitely doesn't. That I can guarantee.
No, we do. We
Fucking
have
horrible. CSIS is fucking nothing, man. CSIS
But we have anyways, but we have Chinese sleeper agents here, eh?
yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
So I saw a video the other day. I don't know to what extent this is true, but there's an ex-CIA agent that's going around in podcasts talking about this, that Chinatown, places like Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
We have our Chinatown.
Yeah.
New York has a Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is all these little... I'm using Chinatown as an example because it's the one that we can actually locate like geographically.
Mm-hmm.
These are all focus points for sleeper cells. So if you want, Chinese spies, Chinese agents, they all come through Chinatown.
Yeah.
They directly go over there because they can remain hidden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was a bunch that were picked up in the South Shore in Brossard, actually. There were, I think, 2 or 3 organizations that.
What does CIA stand for? Cox I ate. Who funded ISIS? Oh, I think it was the CIA that funded ISIS, no?
I don't know if they funded ISIS directly.
No, but we had proof of this. We had there were some of the ISIS members had like American military tattoos.
Well, yeah. I mean, it probably wasn't called ISIS at that time. There were probably different forces. I think everything started in Iraq or Afghanistan. So yeah, so they do train, different rebel groups that are, let's say, for example, in Afghanistan. Okay, we talk a lot about
Al
Qaeda.
They were on the side of the Americans.
Of course. Yeah. So you have Bin Laden, who was trained by Americans.
CIA operatives.
I don't know if it was a CIA.
I played Call of Duty, bro. I know all the story.
I don't know if it was a CIA operative, but he definitely was leading this rebel group against the Soviet Union in the 80s when they were at war. And yeah, they got all the training. So these guys, obviously, they maintain relations with them. They fucking feed them. They keep them active. Yeah. They use them. And then they grow so big to the point where now they're against them. And definitely, yeah, the CIA is involved in so many of these, on the rise of so many of these groups.
Damn.
ISIS was horrible. ISIS was created like when they took down Saddam Hussein, and especially when Gaddafi was killed in Libya.
No, Gaddafi apparently was a cool dude.
I don't know if he was a cool dude, but strange fucking guy.
I just like saying that to people because
they had found in his he left the States with his jet. Fact check. Yeah, I know they've been tracking, from what I've seen, was Black Ben Carson. They've been tracking his jet. That's what I saw. Now, is it really his or not? I don't know. But there's a lot of reports that he has fled. So, I mean, you gotta be fucking baller to do that. Like, what a baller move. It's like, oh fuck, the cops are after me. Load up the jet. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Like a super villain, bro. Exactly. Like a super villain, bro.
And you have the fucking flight agents telling you, keep the fucking jet grounded. You can't go. Go fuck yourself.
Man, quickly, Joker, to my jet. It's like Gotham City, but instead of the Riddler, it's the Diddler. Instead of the Joker, it's the Poker. It's all molestation related. Who else? Two-Faced, Two Cheeks.
Is it Two-Face?
It's Two-Face instead Two Cheeks.
Is it Two-Face?
Yeah, it is. That's the villain's name. Two-Face.
Okay.
And then let's come up with another name for the Penguin. The Penguin, How
about we not? I don't even know. What the fuck are you talking about?
Batman supervillains. I'm just trying to come up with supervillain names for everyone who was associated to the Diddler. So we have the main one, the Joker. That's the poker. Bane. There's a lot. You could make it. You could go Hush. Oh, this guy's name was Hush. Okay, I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent. Go ahead. Keep going with the news.
What were we saying? Yeah, so let's just finish up on Russia there. It's just tragic. It's tragic to see this shit happening. Fuck, honestly. I don't feel bad for these guys if really it's these guys that did it. But at the same time, when you look at the difference in the justice system and the way they take care of shit compared to what we do over here, super protected. There was this joke on Twitter. I don't know. One of the comments. This was funny because they're like, "Oh, if these guys were caught in New York, they'd be out on bail already."
Yeah, 100%. Now I won't say if they did or didn't do it, but I know they had something to do with it.
I saw for at least two of them. There's video footage of them running away, and it's pretty obvious that it's them. So that leads me to understand that the people that they caught are actually the people that did it.
There you go.
Fucking threw them in some dark room where they got destroyed.
Not even. They tortured them out in the open. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see the videos?
I saw the video with the electrical wires to the guy's nuts.
Yeah, he was on grass, bro. They caught him. They tortured them right there and then where they caught them, bro.
They fucking stripped them.
They didn't. They didn't bother. What? Do you think we're gonna go through the trouble of bringing you to a roof?
Shaking from fear. You saw that?
Yeah.
You think you're fucking tough, piece of shit? You think you're a tough guy walking in with a fucking AK-47, killing people? You saw how fast they turned. Fucking shaking.
Of course.
Shaking.
I'm glad they caught. I'm not glad of what happened because it's terrible, but I like what Russia did because it sets an example for how you're supposed to treat people that do this type of shit.
Look at the last comment.
Diddy went to Puffstein Island.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Let's come to Canada for a second. Tell me if this is suspicious.
Okay.
I mean, we've destroyed Trudeau on a number of occasions on the podcast, right?
Of course, yes. As we should have. It's our duty.
So we've always wondered what the fuck is he still doing there? How has he managed to survive? This is a minority government, and any other situation, it would have failed. We would have gone to another election. He keeps fucking just staying on board, either collaborating with the NDP or collaborating with the Bloc Québécois. Last week, there was a motion a no confidence motion from the Conservatives.
I saw that.
And the Bloc Québécois voted with the Liberals, so they kept them in power. So there's all these little antics that are happening. And there was an article that came out because there's a minister in charge of the democratic institutions that is currently looking at changing the electoral law in Canada. Okay, now obviously it's every 4 years, and we know that usually it's in October. You can't go past.
Yeah,
that,
they're trying to push it like a week or something.
So they're trying to extend it
I heard
1
about
week.
this.
Okay.
I
now
saw the whole
what they're saying, what he's using to justify this is that on the 20th of October, which will be exactly 4 years since the last election. No.
5?
Sorry. No, because they're making the link to 2019. So when they got elected in 2019, it was October 21st. And I'll tell you why the dates matter here. So technically, he's trying to postpone the election a week past that. So the October 27th of 2025. So his
cronies can get
so we're talking about
pension.
Yeah. So, well, look, the reasons they're using to justify this is that on that week, on that day, October 20th, you have an important Indian holiday happening. And at the same time...
In Native American or like Indian from India?
Indian, like Indians from India. I think it's Diwali. And at the same time, there's...
I didn't know they used that as an excuse. That makes it hilarious.
And at the same time, on the 20th, there's municipal elections in Alberta. So they don't want them to kind of overlap. That one kind of makes sense. But I've seen cases where we've had elections within weeks of each other. Like when Justin got elected in 2008, for the first time I remember, you had the...
It was 2008?
His first election, 2008.
Wasn't it 2015?
That was when he became prime minister. But when he was elected as an MP, it was back in 2008. Okay. And I remember that year you had American elections, and then you had federal elections over here. You had municipal elections, and then provincial elections, all within about a month and a half or 2 month window. So it was fucking chaos.
Yeah.
There were posters everywhere. Anyway, so that kind of makes sense to me. But there was, and this is what I love about these political analysts over here. They go into the fucking details and they look at all these things, and they made the link to the election of 2019 when Trudeau was elected, October 20th to be precise. And the way it works, so I don't know. Look, I mean, it could be a conspiracy. I mean, it could be far fetched, whatever. But to me, I don't know. It kind of makes sense, because the way it works in federal politics, after 6 years, you get full pension when you're elected in office at the federal level. Provincially, it's different. I think you got to do 25 years for a full pension.
Really?
To get your full. But I mean, there's always a pension, but to get like 100%. So in Ottawa, 6 years. So the people that got elected in 2019, October 20th, 2019, their 6 years would end on October 20th, 2025. Okay? And that falls. Sorry, they were elected on October 21st, 2019. So 6 years later, one day late, early. Yeah, for one day they would lose their full pension. It's good, but it's ridiculous, dude.
Let them lose it.
At that point, instead of getting 100% of your pension, you're getting whatever, fucking 99.7. Does it really make a fucking difference? You're still getting the majority of your pension anyway.
No. How much actually would they get realistically? If let's say they did it on the 20th and they don't get their full pension, how much of the percentage of the?
Dude, you're 1 day away, dude. So I mean, it's probably close to 100%.
Oh,
so
really? So that's how that works on the federal level. So it's not like
it's not you make 6 years, you get your pension. You don't make 6 years, you don't get a pension. Of course, you're gonna get a pension. It's just a percentage.
So, but with more time that you are in office, the higher it goes.
I know in Quebec.
Wow, what a bunch of greedy weasels! I didn't even know this. This makes it worse.
Like in Quebec,
this makes it worse.
In Quebec, the way it works, you get 4% of your salary a year for your pension. So if you get elected and you do 1 year, your pension is 4% of whatever the salary is. Okay, so that's why if you accumulate 25 years. You get 100%. So federally, it's obviously different. So there's a lot of people not coming out and saying, "Fuck, this is kind of suspicious." For trying to protect your MPs, at least give them their full pension. You're postponing the elections, and that obviously would suggest that they're aware that it's fucking dangerous. That we're probably gonna lose. You know what I mean? So at least move the date up. Give us our fucking pension. We'll lose. We'll take the loss, but at least we'll have our fucking pension.
Man, but even if, because the truth is, Poilievre is going to win. Mm-hmm. We know this.
Did you see yesterday he was in TMR? This is Montreal. The Conservatives haven't ever had an MP elected on the island of Montreal.
No.
Okay, they've come close to it. Back in the day, Jean Charest was elected in Sherbrooke. So they're trying hard. They for a number of years they've been pushing hard to get seats on the island of Montreal. One of those seats that they've always been focused on has been Mont Royal Outremont, and that's where Anthony Housefather sits. Anthony Housefather.
Can I say something fast? Everyone is liberal until it affects their pockets.
But you know what, man? I think people are still fucking liberal.
No.
I don't know, man. Look at. We're gonna get to that because
the hippies in my land and all that basically are communists and they trade stuff instead of using actual money and working and that street corners begging and doing squeegee stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they don't care because they don't have a pocket to begin with.
We'll get to that. It's interesting, but just to finish on Poilievre, because you mentioned Poilievre is going to win. He was in TMR yesterday. He gave. They had invited him to a synagogue. There were over 1,500 people.
Really?
Fucking cheering the guy. This is huge. I mean, this guy attracts massive crowds.
Yeah.
This is in the heart of a liberal fortress like TMR. It's questionable if they'll even win it, but there seems to be a fucking trend, especially with all the crap that Justin has done with respect to Israel right now, with the war going on.
People are fed up, man.
Let's not forget that last week, I think it was last week, they allowed a motion. We spoke about it. Last minute, they passed a motion to recognize. Initially, it was to recognize the Palestinian state and for a ceasefire. They changed the fucking motion last minute. And you had Anthony Housefather coming out against his own party. It was a whole fucking mess over there. Wow. So I'm not so sure what Anthony Housefather is going to do. And what does Poilievre do? he organizes a fucking rally in that riding of Anthony Housefather, the guy that rose up against his own liberal caucus.
Oh shit.
Like that's if there's anything more in your face than that, I don't know.
He knows, Trudeau knows the end is near. He knows. That's why he's pulling all this weird shit. I think in the next year on top of it, like, I think he's gonna ramp up the craziness even more.
I don't know.
As soon as we hit October 2024, I think like as soon as he realizes like, yo, I got less than a year to do all kinds of, I think he's gonna do all kinds of crazy shit.
There's a lot of analysts out there that are still doubting if whether or not he's gonna run. Because obviously he says that he will. He can't say anything else. He's not gonna come and say, "I'm not so sure anymore." That's you're killing yourself right there.
But then if he doesn't want to run,
yeah, you can. It's easier to find a bogus excuse and say, "Finally, I'm not running," and to say in the beginning, like even if you know that you don't want to run, you can't say that you're not gonna run. You say that, yeah, for sure, I'm running. I'm confident more than ever. We have a lot of work left to do. Yeah. And then if you decide finally to step down, it's easier to come up with some excuse to just step down, right? So I don't know. I'm just trying to read the comments here. Yeah. So I don't know what he's going to do. And these are people that have a lot of credible.
What's the window of him? So
well, that would be the problem because.
So let's say somebody wanted to run as the Liberal MP.
They need a good year for their leadership campaign.
So by October 2024, he'd have to say
he needs to do it before because he needs to leave the party enough time to engage in a race, get the candidates, membership. The race usually lasts a couple of months. So,
do you think there's any Liberal MP that could?
For sure. There's always going to be people that aspire to be the leader.
No, but I mean, is there anyone good?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they could be good.
Do you have anyone that comes to mind?
Yeah, there's Philippe François Champagne. There's Mélanie Joly that I hear has already been organizing the ground for a while now. From what I'm hearing, Mélanie Joly has people on the ground across Canada ready to go. And she's very organized.
Should I run, bro?
Do it. Fuck, it'll be funny. God,
just to do it for entertainment.
God, it'll be funny. You should take your poster with a face like that. Not call him fucking Messi.
Yeah, Messi,
fucking
sunglasses,
disheveled mustache.
Yeah. Like, yo, bro, I'm running for prime minister.
Oh God. So yeah, no. There's going to be people interested in the race. The problem isn't that. The problem is that the party is finished, and what they haven't realized yet is that this is the situation where any analyst can look at it and see and state that not only will they lose the election, but they will be in opposition for a while.
What do you mean?
They're going to be in opposition not for a mandate. Like Poilievre isn't going to be a prime minister for one mandate.
We're talking like 2.
He's not doing 4 years. He's probably doing more than 10.
Really?
Oh, easily.
We need that. We need that, and we need somebody.
Well, look, I'm not going to rush to say we need it because we were saying that when we were tired of Harper. We're like, yeah, we need Justin. We need Justin.
But we needed Harper.
Well, yeah,
we need. He saved us in 2008. Well, not him himself, but
there were people there were solid fiscal policies that were put in place to save us from that crisis. But at the end of the day, and this happens, right? People get fucking tired. There's fatigue.
It's not just tired. It's not just tired of seeing the same face, bro. Trudeau has demolished the country, man.
Yeah,
he's demolished, bro. I'm seeing people begging for money in corners that there never used to be people begging.
Yeah.
I'm seeing conditions of Park X of the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, I've seen it even earlier. That was horrible. You didn't live that.
I didn't live that. I was born in 93.
Park X in the 80s, dude, was horrible.
But I'm seeing Park Extension go backwards.
Yeah, you saw that they made Park X made headlines a couple of weeks ago with the rat situation.
I saw that
in front of Loblaws.
Yeah, there was a guy, for those who don't know, there was a guy walking in front of, it's no longer Loblaws, it's Maxi.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically where the Metro is, Park Avenue Metro, where that big building with the columns is, the Greek-style columns.
It's the train station.
The train station, and he's walking through there, and there was these 2 rats that jumped on him and attacked his leg.
God, fuck.
And then, what does he say at the end? He goes, they asked him, were you afraid? And he goes, nah, I know MMA. I know jiu-jitsu. So stupid.
But yeah, back to
At least you'll get. Yeah, you know what? Jorge is right. Hey, if you vote for me as prime minister of the country, thing is, I'm gonna fuck you and hard, but I'll use Vaseline and you'll know about it at least. I'll be 100% transparent with you how I'm gonna fuck you and where I'm gonna fuck you, but at least you'll know. At least you'll know. There's nothing hidden. You won't get any weird surprises. You know what I mean? If I tell you, hey, it's a gangbang, it's a gangbang. You know what I mean?
Lube up.
And it's gonna be a gangbang. It's not. I'm not gonna pull one of these like it's a gangbang, and then all of a sudden, it's more than a gangbang. There's whips and chains involved and all this crazy shit. No. I'm gonna be fair to people. I'm gonna be like, look, if I take cuts, I'll be like, look, I'll help you. I'll help everyone out, but yo, let me take my 10 million. Let me take my. Let's do that. Why not? You know. So I'll help everyone.
I think that whatever
Straight pipe, no Vaseline.
whether Trudeau remains and loses the election, or whether he steps down and launches his party into a leadership race, it's going to take a while for this party to come back. And I don't think they will. I think the only time that they will kind of resurface is when that cycle comes back again, when you're tired of the conservative government. So this is going to be interesting. And again,
what do you think is going to change? So let's say, let's fast forward. Okay. I have a question for you. Enough joking around. Okay. Let's say we fast forward into 2025. Pierre Poilievre wins. What do you think is going to happen that will be positive?
I think there's definitely going to be more animosity in terms of these environment-friendly groups. He's pro-gas, obviously, so this is going to benefit Alberta. I think he's going to pressure at least Quebec to for pipelines to get the product out to the Atlantic, or maybe pressure BC to do the same. He needs to market the oil out of Alberta, and Alberta unfortunately is landlocked.
What do you think is going to happen with taxes?
Look, he's a conservative, right? So I mean, conservatives usually have historically have taken much better care of the economy than any other government, and I mean because they're more fiscally prudent, right? And that was the whole winning argument with Harper. So there's a lot of good, right? I mean, I've read his housing policy. It makes a lot of fucking sense.
What's his housing policy?
His housing policy basically means that we are going to fund municipalities because they're the first level government that deals with this sort of thing, and they will get paid. They will get bonuses based on production. So let's say we take Montreal for example.
Wow! So let's say we take the municipality of Park Extension to simplify.
No, Montreal. You take Montreal.
Okay.
You want housing projects? There's money available for you. Let's see the fucking work being done, and you're gonna get more money. Eliminate your bureaucracy, end that fucking bullshit.
The red tape. Get rid of the red tape.
Get rid of it.
Wow.
Put the work in place. The more you do, the more money you'll get.
Smart.
So there's incentives. There's interesting incentives.
You know what's gonna happen when he wins? There's gonna be a boom in constructions, new constructions, and I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna see a crash of the bubble.
The bureaucracy is disgusting, and just to remind everyone, this was a couple months ago. We mentioned this on the podcast in Montreal. Remember not where it was? It's still there. The Hippodrome of Montreal, the Carry. That whole empty lot over there.
What did they want to do with that?
Well, Valérie Plante wanted to develop that into housing, into housing units, and she launched a public bid procedure.
Yeah, but she did it the wrong way or something.
No, it's not the wrong way. She goes, look, this is available. This is the land.
Yeah.
We want developers bid so that you can get the contract from the city of Montreal. You know how many people bid?
How many?
0.
Yeah, but it was for public housing, no?
0.
But it was for public housing.
Not all of it. You can't do 100% social housing.
Okay, 80% social housing.
But the problem isn't that. The problem is that because
it was 80% social housing.
There's a regulation already before Valérie Plante that had changed that obliges developers, real estate housing developers, whatever project they build, there needs to be, I think, 30% of it assigned to social housing units, and that fucks them up. I don't know if it screws up the funding for the project. Maybe they don't want. You're developing downtown Montreal. This is going to be like high-priced units. You're
What's
buying
the carry? It's not downtown.
No, but I'm saying
It's midtown.
Anywhere you build in Montreal,
Yeah.
with that regulation, you need to provide, I think it's 30% social housing units. So let's say, for example, you're a developer, you have a land downtown, you know that these are going to go for $600,000, $700,000 each unit. Are you going to buy a condo that you know that a couple floors down, you have social housing units? Questionable. Maybe you will, maybe you don't. I mean, you won't. I don't know. So
I wouldn't.
well, there you have it. So in terms of
Like let's be honest, if I'm gonna invest, because the problem is what happens with that is you're just gonna invest your money somewhere else where you won't have to deal with those
it's
headaches.
just that when you're looking at the value of what you're getting and your and the value that your investment is going to make, you're just not interested. So all this to say that huge project there in the old Hippodrome, zero developers were fucking interested.
Wow.
Why? Because of this whole fucking bureaucracy and all the criteria and all this bullshit that they have to go through. So that kind of thing, I'm convinced that it's going to end. It's going to end. There won't be federal funding for you available. You want the money, get the projects going, and then the more you get, the more you build, the more money you'll get. So it's an interesting incentive for cities to really initiate huge infrastructure projects.
Do you think they're also going to get rid of the red tape surrounding? Let's say you want to develop new properties?
In general, conservative governments means less government. Okay, so I don't know how feasible that is. In any case, I think the timing, Poilievre's timing comes at a time where people just are tired of fucking Justin Trudeau. Whether you support Poilievre or not, the fact is that you just don't want Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's going to play into his strategy very well. They're investing a lot in Quebec, obviously, and not necessarily for him to win more seats in Quebec, but he wants the Liberals to get less seats. So for him, if the Bloc Québécois gets more seats in Quebec, he doesn't give a shit. As long as the Liberals get less, he's going to win.
I have a question. What do you think is going to happen to dealerships?
What's going to happen?
You haven't seen what's been happening?
No.
Dude, they're stacked to the ears in inventory.
Yeah.
They're dead. They're dead.
I got a call.
There's no work.
I got a call last week from my dealership. They're pretty much begging you to bring back because they need the used cars. The used car market apparently is. I don't know anything about the market, but begging me, come back. We'll take your used car. We have good deals for you. You can see we got some new models for.
So the reason why is because they are having, and I knew this was going to happen during the pandemic. You know how there was no new inventory during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Well, now they have a surplus in new inventory. The reason why they want you to bring your used car back is because they have to get rid of that new inventory. They have to.
Yeah, but then
here's the thing.
Yeah, but then
we're already close to the middle of 2024. And that new inventory has not moved.
But that doesn't make sense because if that would create an incentive for them to get rid of the new inventory, they're accumulating old inventory.
Yes, but
so there needs to be a market for that.
No, but what happens is as soon as there is a constriction in inventory in the new, then the used flourishes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because there's not that many deals or incentives to buy new, let's say
this is the
let's
second
say you have
time.
100. Let's say you have 100 new cars and 20 used cars, right? 20 used cars are barely moving, but you got to get rid of these new cars. You tell people with older cars, you know what? You call up 50 people, come bring back your older car. You get 50 used cars out of it, and you sell 50 new ones. Now you got rid of new inventory. Now you have more demand and less supply for the new inventory, so you can keep prices relatively steady. And because there's less supply in the new, people are going to look to the used. So even those cars you buy back, you get to move 2 times the inventory.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, but it must be crazy because they're practically begging you. Like this, they've called me twice. They've called me twice this month.
I walked into a dealership last week, and for the month of March, this was March 22nd, 23rd, it was late March. Okay, it was last week. They had 9 sales on the board.
That's it.
For the month of March.
That's not a lot, is it?
And we're not talking about sales where like, okay, you put a deposit down. That's not a sale. I mean,
delivered.
It's delivered.
Yeah.
It's officially a sale when it's been, they had 9 for the month of March. This is a dealership, but they didn't have no more space to put their cars. And I'm like, yo, give me a deal on the used car. I'll buy it. Give me actual what it's worth, not like
the interest rates also don't help.
Yeah, exactly. So the interest rates are high. You guys are asking $4,000 over what it's worth. in the black books and everything. Give me a deal. No,
Yeah.
they didn't want to budge. Even though they're suffering, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't want to budge. And they have 9 sales for the month of March.
That's not good. That's not good. But yeah, I think definitely there's going to be a pivot with Poilievre in getting natural resources out. There's a huge talk, or there was, and it's gonna spark up again now with LNG, the liquefied natural gas that pretty much Trudeau has been ignoring. Quebec has put an end to it, which makes absolutely no sense. And it sparked up again this week. If you remember, well, last weekend we were lucky here as a Greek community. There was the Greek Prime Minister that was visiting. He did the parade with Justin Trudeau, whatever.
whatever.
And in an interview. He came. I mean, there's reasons why the Greek Prime Minister came to Canada that we can get into, but essentially, he came. They signed the deal for Greece to buy water bomber planes because of the forest fires and everything. So that was a good deal for Canada, good deal for Greece. And at the same time, during that interview, the journalist asks him about purchasing LNG from Canada. Greece has been, for the last couple of years, attempting to create to turn Greece into this renewable energy hub for Southern Europe, through which they could redistribute energy across, the Balkans and maybe even the rest of Europe. There's a huge effort being over there. They've built reservoirs in northern Greece to be able to contain and to I don't know what the terminology is, but to transform energy. And in that interview, he said, of course, Greece, we would love to have Canadian LNG. If we can make a deal, absolutely, we're interested, blah, blah. And that sparked so much shit in Canada because you have, and there's so many articles that came out. They're like, fucking Justin Trudeau snubbed another government. Let's not forget, when the war started in Russia and Ukraine, immediately, with the sanctions and everything, Russia stopped the energy going into Europe. Yeah. Probably 90% of Europe's energy comes from Russia. Immediately, they started looking for alternative sources of energy. The German chancellor, I think, traveled to Canada wanting LNG, Canadian liquefied natural gas. Trudeau closed the door. The guy went and got it from Mexico. Now, So now you have the Greek Prime Minister that announced publicly in an interview that, definitely Greece would be interested. And Trudeau closed the door again. That has been picked up and recycled in provincial here in Quebec by Éric Duhaime, who's the leader of the Conservative Party, who wants to bring back that question on why is Quebec... Sorry about that. Why is Quebec blocking LNG? Because Quebec has one of the biggest natural reservoirs of natural gas.
Really?
Yeah, and Legault has blocked the development of that natural resource.
Wasn't this guy all about business?
Yeah, he was. But I guess the green lobby is stronger than we think, man.
Looks like natural gas got cock blocked.
Let me just finish on another thing that's fucking just ridiculous, man. Because you're mentioning all these things about Justin Trudeau and all these fishy things that are happening. We just talked about, them extending the election date, quite possibly for to please the MPs that are closing in on their 6 years.
Imagine how greedy you have to. This is the kind of people that we're dealing with. Imagine how greedy you have to be for one day, bro, where it's 0.3% of your pension. Imagine how much of a greedy. Remember this. I want people to remember this. When you think of politicians aren't that bad, think about for one fucking day, 0.3% of their pension, bro. 0.3%. We're talking about a minute amount of money, bro. How greedy and sick you have to be complaining over that. I want people to remember this about these politicians.
I'm laughing because
scum.
I'm laughing because the next thing is gonna fucking Trudeau is paying $8.4 million. So in the grand scheme of things, $8.4 million is not a lot of money when you know that he's brought the fucking debt of this country into the trillions and he has hundreds of billions of dollars of deficit. $8.4 million is pocket change. But still, this is what he's spending $8.4 million on. There's an initiative to research how climate change interacts with democratic decline. So there's a research happening in Canada to evaluate how, or to make links, if there's any links, on how the whole discourse around climate change affects democratic institutions and the democratic decline. So suggesting now that, or trying to make a link to see, is this whole talk about democracy creating such a polarized society that we're losing our democratic principles? Yes or no? How retarded is that? How ridiculous is that you need to spend money to fucking question your democratic principles when you've been prime minister since 2015? How about evaluating if the democratic principles haven't gone to shit because of you? How about that? How about spending $8 million to get an independent firm to evaluate if whether or not my government, my liberal government, Justin Trudeau's liberal government, has taken positions that has affected directly the democratic decline in this fucking country, that has polarized society so much to the point where people don't give a fuck anymore about our democracy. But no, it has to be about the environment. It's probably the environment. Let's get a study on that.
I have a question. You know how they're doing the carbon tax? It's coming into effect April 1st, which gas is already at
They're increasing it.
It's at $1.72 a liter, by the way, at the pump now. What's it going to go up to? $2 after this? Almost $2.
But it's not necessarily the price of gas that's going to go up. It's the carbon tax basically taxes companies for emitting gas emissions. So let's say
on all our products as well. But I'm just talking about. But
it's not the products. It affects the products because the companies that are using this sort of energy, like
but it's also going to affect gas prices directly.
Maybe, probably, I don't know, but the fact
because
is
they're putting on everything that emits.
Look, you have, for example, there's a carbon tax on farmers, for example. Okay, they use tractors, they use all these technologies that use up gas. But these guys, if you bring up their bill, they're gonna have to get the money somewhere.
Yeah,
to pay
of course,
for it.
our bill goes up. No, I know this. No, but I have a question. The whole point of the carbon tax is that to go net zero, right?
Yeah, you're never gonna reach net zero.
But here's the thing, you know, we account for 1.3% of the pollution on the planet, or something like that.
There was an argument,
and if anything, I would argue with just of all the forests we have in Canada, if anything, we fall in the negative. We actually clean more than we pollute as a country.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. Can you, if their whole thing is to bring it to zero and they say we pollute, can't you bring them to court proving that because we actually net in the minus where we clean more air than we pollute?
What's happening?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can't we then argue of like, oh, like, do you understand what I'm going for? It's like, okay, we have so many trees, George.
Yeah. Okay.
That basically we actually clean some of the world's air. I don't know if you know this, but the winds that get pushed from Asia and everything, you know, our trees go and they go and it's clean.
It's funny. I think it's funny listening to you trying to explain the concept that you have zero understanding of.
I have some understanding.
Trees.
Now I have a question.
They drink the pollution. We got trees. So
now I have a question.
Yeah.
Because their whole thing is we're polluting. But then if people can prove that we're actually in the negative in
I don't know if we're in the negative because all the indicators are showing that we're not.
But they're showing of what we put out. But we don't show what comes back in. You know what I mean? We show just what the people of Canada put out, but we don't see the clean air put out by the trees. I mean, if we could measure that, it would show that we're in the negative. And if somebody could measure it, technically, they could bring the government to court for all this.
There's a bunch of
and be like, no, they owe money.
There's
the other way around.
There's a bunch of other things that you can do instead of spending all this money. And this is what Poilievre is suggesting. There's different other techniques. There's carbon capture. There's all these things that could potentially be used in Canada.
The sequoias in Vancouver got lung cancer. That's funny.
So no, there were propositions, and of course this is all politics. I mean, it's never going to happen. But I think it was in the.
But do you understand what I mean? If your output is 100 liters,
the indicators are showing that Canada isn't even close to reducing its gas emissions by 2030, and not even by 2050.
But I don't think you're understanding. If your output is 100 liters of fucking emissions, right? But then the trees put out, I don't know, we have so many fucking trees, they put out 1,000 liters of this is what carbon dioxide, and they put out 1,000 liters of oxygen. That would put us in negative 900. So we have more. Do you know what I mean? I'm measuring it like water, like a liquid, but it's not a liquid.
Right now, you should just go work for some fucking environment institute, right? A fucking scientist, Poseidon over here.
No, but do you know what? But you understand
PhD.
what I'm trying? I'm trying to use my dumb
If
Park
that
X
were the
logic.
case, we wouldn't have had an issue, bro. So obviously we have an issue.
But
If our
that's what I'm trying to
indicators
say is we don't have an issue and we're being scammed. That's what I'm trying to say
I
is
don't
that they're only saying, oh, we put out this much of emissions, let's say 100 liters, but they're not taking into account the clean air being pumped by the trees.
I'm not. Maybe I don't know.
Because they're not taking that into account. Because if they were, we'd be in the negative.
Here's what I know. There was a proposition that was made. Instead of investing all this fucking money
Keep
here,
talking. I'm going to Google this. I'm actually very curious.
instead of creating all these policies that are counterproductive in Canada, why doesn't Canada invest more effort in helping countries abroad deal with their pollution? India, China, the U.S. Because obviously Canada, like you said, we're a minute portion of the world pollution.
So listen to me. Canada's carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuel combustion and industrial processes totaled 548 million metric tons. So they put out we put out as a country 548 million metric tons. Okay. Hold on. Keep talking.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what?
you're
Keep
talking.
keep telling the story, and I'll see what I can do here.
I don't know. There's no story. The fact is that we're behind our targets, and there's been suggestions for Canada to take a leadership role in aiding other countries reducing their gas emissions because Canada's contribution is negligible compared to other countries. So I don't know. What are you calculating?
How much clean air does a tree put out? 274 liters of oxygen a day.
How many trees do we have? Let's multiply that.
A mature oak tree, 100,000 liters of oxygen a year. So if you have 100,000 liters a year, how many trees in Canada?
I don't know, man. Is there a... Trudeau was supposed to plant 2 billion trees. Remember that?
There's 318 billion trees, which cover almost 40% of the country. 318 billion. Listen to this. So 318 billion.
What a conversation we're having.
Listen to me. Okay.
Times 100,000.
Times 100,000 liters.
You're probably not going to get an answer on your calculator. You were able to put 318 billion on your phone.
Fuck, it's 3.18 E12.
Yeah.
This is 318 million. Okay. What does this give? What is this?
Yeah, that's put 318 and then put 16 zeros.
Okay. And what is that? Quintillion?
Fuck, I don't know what it is.
3.18.
318. Okay,
318.
And then
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
I think that these three are included. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, okay.
5. You're missing a zero. Take this shit out here. You have, so you have. Yeah.
Okay. So we have this much, right? Okay. Now pay attention. Pay attention.
Of clean oxygen produced a year in Canada?
Yeah, in Canada, let's say. And then how many zeros is that?
That's
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
13.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
13.
0. Okay. Hold on. Let me copy this number. Check what I'm gonna do. Check what I'm gonna do.
Oh God, guys, I apologize.
Hold on, bro. We're onto something here. We're onto something. I'm onto something. Pay attention. So we said Canada pollutes 548 million metric tons. Right?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay,
Hold on.
So basically, here, I'll tell you exactly what.
Because I want to do liters to metric tons.
3.
Hold on. I found a conversion on the internet.
Basically, you have 3 million.
So, okay. I think I found it. results in metric tons. Okay? 3.18. Fuck, but it won't show me.
Bro, what are you trying to calculate, dude?
So how many zeros is that?
Fuck, I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. That's 8 zeros. Sorry, no, 6, 8, 9. 9 zeros, okay? So we put out, so trees put out, hold on. 3,
Fucking
1,
Einstein
8.
over here.
So 0. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 0. So what number is this?
How many zeros do you have? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's
What is this? 3 billion?
no, bro.
How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 318 billion metric tons.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that's billion? It's 9 zeros in billion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
6 zeros is million. So we put out, hear me out. Science class with Poseidon today. Canada produces 548 million, okay, metric tons of carbon dioxide. Okay? Carbon, okay? But the trees put out 318 billion metric tons of oxygen.
Is it metric tons?
Yes, I did the conversion. If we do 318 billion metric tons minus 548 million metric tons, what does that give? 2.5 billion metric tons. So we are actually 2.5 billion metric tons over in clean air than we are in carbon dioxide. If you were to put it in simple math.
I'm sure that makes absolutely no sense. And we just wasted fucking 10 minutes of people's precious lives.
Think about it for a second. Honestly, do you think it's not that crazy what I'm saying?
I think it's much more complicated than that. But here's the important thing.
I think we overcomplicate things. I think things are actually rather simple.
The challenge right now with Trudeau and his carbon tax and in general his environment policy is that he has 8 provincial premiers that have asked him to remove it. 8 out of 10 provinces. 8. And the 2 provinces that haven't said anything is Quebec and Ontario because they have their own jurisdiction and they have their own policy in that territory. So they don't give a fuck about the carbon tax. So 8 provinces, 8 provincial premiers have told Justin Trudeau, please get rid of this. We can't survive anymore. We can't. Economically, we can't make it. So if you're the leader of this country, okay, and you have 8 of your provincial premiers telling you, dude, do something, we can't.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, you have 3 provinces that are refusing to charge the tax, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and New Brunswick. What more do you need as a prime minister to fucking wake up? You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like you're standing alone against pretty much your entire country, and you're adamant about proceeding with your policy that clearly makes no sense. So we don't know what's going to happen.
Sorry. Minus 548 million metric tons. We actually put out 317 billion, 452 million.
He's still fucking calculating.
Metric tons of oxygen our country.
All right, guys, we'll let you guys do the math, and maybe next week you can fucking come back and give us an answer. In the meantime,
Hold on.
put the music. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in. This was a disaster episode, and I thank you all for your patience.
I know it sounds completely insane, but I mean, there's some logic to
No,
it.
it doesn't sound. It is completely insane. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. Do follow this fucking Einstein over here, fucking straight out of science college or whatever you want to call it. I am Poseidon.com, the Poseidon69 on all social media platforms. Patreon.com/Pantelis if you want to get exclusive content. PantelisComedy.com if you want to check out the dates and support Pantelis. He has a 5-week residency, I think, at Le National, or 5 weeks
Residency.
Yeah, he's doing. Isn't he doing that show, the burlesque show? He's emceeing some burlesque show. So I don't know if there's any tickets available. I think they're sold out from what he had told me last week. So in any case, that's what he's doing. Ted Bird will be back probably next week, if not the week after. You can follow me at Politiquement Parlant. If you know or understand French, do support that podcast. We're getting incredible guests on the show from government. And it's a lot of fun. So thank you for all the support. Thank you for tuning in again. And we'll see you all next Wednesday. Ciao, bye.
I'm gonna clip my calculations.
Fucking clip your balls, bro.